Great idea!
Global Shock Deterrent!
Welcome back. For over 2 weeks now, Blockade Australia has been holding up coal and passenger trains near the port of Newcastle. Now, they will claim this is all in the name of saving us from the climate emergency, but as you and I know, it will do nothing of the sort. All it does is disrupt the lives of hardworking Australians and businesses and endanger lives as well. Joining me is someone who's had to constantly grapple with the disruptions this mob is causing, former CEO of Virgin Australia, current but outgoing CEO of the freight operator Pacific National, Paul Scurrah. It's so great to see you. Welcome.
Thanks, Erin. Thanks for having me.
I want to talk about what you're doing at the end of this quick chat.
Okay.
But first of all, what kind of financial damage are these dopes, and I'm not talking about people who protest in the right way, that is a God-given right, but these dopes doing?
Yeah, you're right, Erin. This is way beyond protesting. There are ways to protest to get a message across. And plenty of examples this year alone of how people do that in the right way. This is reckless and dangerous. So before the economic impact, we have to think about the safety impact.
Yeah.
So this is endangering lives. The people who are protesting are putting their lives on the line. They're putting the lives of my employees or the rail industry employees on the line. By putting themselves in front of trains, they have to take evasive action. And even if it doesn't actually occur, there's a trauma and a psychological impact to that. Which can last for a long time for our drivers. And then they're putting the lives of the emergency services and police at risk, who have to rescue them from these really parlous positions they're putting themselves in. The big issue we want to talk about is the deterrent, but on the economic front, it's already $70 million off the bottom line of the state.
$70 million.
Yeah. In a time where we have a cost of living crisis.
Absolutely.
It's unpalatable. But, you know, we want to highlight the safety risk. We want to make sure that that the deterrent is much better than it is today, because the big issue, I think, is the deterrent.
Because they've strengthened, if you'd use that word, the laws in New South Wales, but still don't be doing much at all, don't seem to be.
Yeah, look, and plenty of people are saying the police should do more, and we're always going to say, until it's completely gone, we want more done. But it's one thing to say that. It's another that when the police do what they're doing and they arrest somebody and they go into court and they get a $400 fine, that's it. And then they're back out there the next day and the police are picking up the same people. So what really needs to happen here is an industry coming together, police and emergency services doing the best they can with what they've got. But we really need to make the deterrent a lot stronger. And so we think the legislation has to change so that the penalty has minimums to it. And so, you know, meaningful minimums around the amount of points you get that have a real meaningful impact on the people that are doing this, and a financial impact as well. So minimum fines, for example, in the vicinity of $50,000 are much more powerful than what we're seeing now.
You look at like even a different jurisdiction in Canberra with what happened at Parliament House, and apparently it was a very well coordinated type thing with people gluing their hands, other people calling the police and calling them out to fake protests, people hanging hate speech and worse, incitement to terrorism on our home of democracy. And you just go, will one of them spend 1 minute in jail? And the answer is probably not.
Yeah, I think the lack of and whether it's a jail sentence, whether it's a better fine, we need the deterrent to be effective. And at the moment, what we are seeing is, and these guys are well resourced and they are promising that it's going to go on for a while, so that 70 million could grow. And the risk to lives, the risk to our drivers, the risk to the protesters, the risk to police and emergency services is not going away.
So what's stopping the government? Because 70 mil with taxes, etc., that's hurting them too. Yeah,
look, I don't know. We're in ongoing talks with the Premier's office about exactly what to do about this. I do know that the police resources are stretched, so, but we do think that there is a pretty quick step that can be taken around Section 213 of the law that can see those minimums put in place where the deterrent is actually far stronger than it is today. So it's one thing to say, deal with it as it's happening. I think it's a whole new impact that we can have, or the government can have, by increasing the deterrent level in the first place.
Now, you announced recently that you are leaving your current role. You were the CEO of Virgin, and I have been hammered by staff, and a lot of Virgin staff, when the position became vacant. I know there was a petition trying to get you to go back. I'd love to get an update on you personally, because you're a figure that people are interested in. Is there any chance you're moving back into that role, or what is next for you?
No, is the short answer to that.
Would you be open to that?
I don't think that the possibility exists at all. So as much as I love the industry and the people of Virgin, the timing's just not there, and I just don't think the possibility exists. So what next for me? I don't know. I really don't know. I've been more than 15 years a CEO over multiple companies. That can take its toll on you, but I'm looking for a bit of a respite, looking for what's next, and very open-minded about what that might be.
Fantastic. Well, if you've got any interest in Paul, just contact our show. That's a joke, but you can know, because I will pass it on. Paul Scurrah, thank you very, very much for your time. Brilliant as always, and keep us up to date with anything that happens in that space. Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.
Well, I spoke at the top